I don't have much here. I wanted to focus. So what's Shameless Plug for those who watching this first time? So you can see that on this picture, this is Shameless Plug. It's just essentially shamelessly, saying what he's doing and how bad things he's doing. So I'm essentially in very similar position. I want to show you some products that 3M Dev got in the shop, and like, yeah, if you like it or not like it, it's your choice. But if you buy any of those, you're essentially supporting us in delivering more releases, more community releases, more open source contribution. What other purpose of this presentation is? I want to record my thinking and my kind of own perspective on sales in 3M Dev, and in that way I can reflect on, okay, this worked, this didn't work. We very quickly forget various stuff, if we tried something or we not tried something, or how we talking about products. And of course, this is also exploration of various business models for open source firmware, because this is like very innovative journey, very we are first in the game. We are first to deliver model for open source firmware like Dasharo. And there are positive voices about that and negative one. And this presentation is to record various perspectives about it. So yeah, let me talk about hardware, about services, about pace enterprise training. I guess that's the segment in which I would spend the most time today. And then like a standard call for buying Dasharo Pro package, Dasharo Enterprise package, and that's it. So yeah, regarding the TPM modules, I guess the MSIs are still sold out. Like we probably cannot find sourcing for that right now. I know that Raptor Computing TPM is also sold out. We also don't have those chips, but all the others are still available. The Asus KGPE, the 16, and the PC Engines TPMs. Of course, like if someone got similar pin header, it will work for you. Or if you want to create some interposer, or like not interposer, but a kind of I don't know, wiring or whatever other method of changing the socket, then probably it will also work for you. But the question is if you want to play with this kind of thing. Yeah, so these are other TPMs for APU2 and then for LibreBox. So yeah, some people finding that LibreBox model can work for their devices. So we also sometimes selling this one. We still have Dell Optiplexes pre-sale with Dasharo Pro package included. Those are with this trench boot and anti-VMail for CubesOS. Of course, those would not be certified because those contain known vulnerabilities, known speculative vulnerabilities, for which Intel does not release microcode, because this is third generation, this is old CPU. But on the other side, it is still cheap, it would be very transparent, and then various security properties which this device got can help and allow mitigate various threat models, various risks. So please consider that. And if you want to just buy something where you can try trench boot, when you can try DRTM, that's probably a good device to start with, and cheap device to start with. Yeah, the next one. Odroid still in our shop. The release is not there yet, but this is like a pre-order. We plan to release by the end of quarter. So if you buy this one, when the release will happen, you will get email with the release link, and you can update. Yeah, this device is also used by us on the public training, on hardware IO. Also, when we deliver trainings directly to customers, we're using Odroids. Very good hardware. Really recommend hard kernel. The schematics are open, so it is very rare thing for x86. It's probably the only device on the market with open schematics for x86 hardware. Regarding supporting us in different ways, those we also selling Nova custom laptops. The point here is that it's essentially drop shipping. Like you just clicking, you're going to a Nova custom website, but then Nova custom knows this coming from 3M Dep referral, and we getting some fee from that. So yeah, so if you want to support us, you can go through our website, and then this is also indication for Nova custom that yeah, 3M Dep website brings some revenue. That's also important signal, like a market signal. Then we have added to the system to the shop PCNGs. Those are refurbished system boards. Those coming with the TPM 2.0, TPM 2.0, and 3 years of Dasharo Pro package subscription, either core boot plus CBIOS, either core boot plus UEFI. I have to say this is unique piece of hardware. This is probably like this is dying species. Like it's like a last of the last one. But I still using it as a my own router. You cannot say this is like a speed demon. It's like a, but it's low TDP, like a open source schematics, open source firmware, very stable, well recognized in firmware in firewall community like OpenSense, very well recognized hardware. So yeah, so if you, and probably you cannot get this in any other place. So if you want one and there is still firmware updates for it, feel free to like just go to the shop and get it from us. The other dropshipping that we have is for Protectly, for Protectly vaults. So if you want to buy a vault, Protectly vault, you can go to our website. This is the same model as we have with Nova Custom. Okay, a little bit about PACE Enterprise Training. So maybe first, what is PACE Enterprise Training? So PACE Enterprise Training by 3M Dep is a product that helps companies to bridge the knowledge gap and help accelerate engineering team readiness by delivering training, by delivering hands-on experience, workshops, and of course, this all is based on the open source software. And our experience, like almost, I don't know, like right now I have 17 years experience in embedded firmware. So I guess like based on that experience and based on the experience of all 3M Dep engineers, we deliver those trainings. Mostly delivered by me, but of course materials are produced by whole team who's supporting me very well in producing that stuff. So trainings, PACE Enterprise trainings are essentially divided into 3 groups. I guess maybe 2 groups. Like we can say first group is a Dasharo group, so it's a BIOS related stuff. It doesn't matter if it's open or closed BIOS. Like we don't differentiate. If someone doing closed BIOS and want to get a training from us, that's completely fine. Of course, we always recommend and advertise for openness, but we believe also on freedom of choice. If someone choosing close one, that's their sin, not ours. Then, of course, any boot firmware, management engine, AMD secure processor, like all this like security related stuff, like root of trust provisioning, and various stuff related to that. Advanced security features for the platforms, UEFI, core boot, or whatever firmware framework you want. This is something we're doing. Then second group is Zarhus. So it is embedded Linux related. It's mostly on ARM, but we also doing the embedded Linux on Intel and AMD. That's completely fine. But ARM is dominated by embedded Linux space. There is a lot of companies needed that. And let me tell you a little bit about those trainings also. And we educate about every aspect of platform lifecycle. So it is in the context of open source ecosystem. We helping from the design stage, where someone choosing how to design the hardware. We can help you what kind of components to choose and like what to avoid, just to make upstreaming process kind of friendly or fast. Then of course bring up of the some first spin-offs of the platforms, initial deployments, and then of course long-term maintenance and all the security related stuff with that. And I guess with recent regulation from European Union, we probably will go deeper and deeper with that, because demands for reaction on the security vulnerabilities is higher and higher. So this training core boot for embedded Linux developers is targeted for the groups, for the company groups. It's a 5-day training. Of course, we can adjust that to your needs. Initially, it was 70% lectures, 30% hands-on. Of course, we can balance that according to the needs of the customer. It discusses various things like core boot, FSP, SPI flash theory. It discusses boot flow of the modern computer. We use Minnow board for that, but right now we're switching to Odroid. So that's the goal of this training. There is Interroot of Trust training, which is a combination of various materials which we created for OST2, but not everything is published already. But yeah, this is mostly Intel Boot Guard and AMD Secure Boot, and also other advanced security features related to root of trust. Then system security training. This is very kind of long training for remote delivery, I would say. We split 37 hours over 9 days, and we essentially lecture by lecture explore x86, boot process, PCI enumeration, DMA, IOMMU. Then we're trying to debug something, looking how this looks in the emulated environment, and then introducing UEFI and then UEFI secure boot, and also talking a little bit about root of trust. There are also Zarhus related training, so the general training about embedded Linux systems, so building and development of embedded Linux systems. This is like a very basic training for embedded Linux. We're starting with basics of Linux, the kernel release cycle, what is Git, how Git works. This is very like entry level basic stuff for the new teams that start embedded Linux development. So this is it. And then there is Yocto. So this is probably for more advanced, and this training is targeted at those teams who want to learn Yocto and start deliver more professionally and in more stable way embedded Linux distribution for their company. So, and then finally there is this event in Santa Clara, and of course probably I will also be attending Hardware I/O Europe later in 2025, and this event has a mastering UEFI secure boot and Interroot of Trust technology. So it's a commercial training, commercial public training. This one will happen at the end of May. And yeah, if you are in Santa Clara looking for this kind of materials, feel free to join us. And yeah, and I will be glad to either if you will be on conference to meet you and talk with you, and if you go to my training, teach you whatever you want and answer all the questions regarding UEFI secure boot and Intel Boot Guard. Regarding services, we have some stuff from Zarhus team. I would not go deep into that. There are multiple services. This is just to show like what are the price ranges for things we're doing. Typically, we have to adjust that to customer reality, I would say. But it's like just showing like what kind of types of things we did in the past. This is just Excel. There is like 15 services already exposed on that side. So if you're looking for embedded Linux area and want to buy something in that, or looking for expertise, please check this. Regarding the Dasharo Pro package, nothing changed. We still have Dasharo Core Boot plus UEFI. It still costs €60. Dasharo Core Boot plus UEFI for network appliance is 46. For Core Boot plus CBIOS for network appliance is much expensive. It's, as I said, the validation and all this stuff is much more expensive. Then if we going to the head stuff, like okay, we have 2 years and 3 years of the Dasharo Core Boot plus UEFI for desktop. But what I wanted to say about head stuff, we will raise the price for the laptops. Right now it is 60 euro. We're raising this price to 7. Like I'm saying about excluding VAT. Yeah, price excluding VAT. So right now it's 60 euro, and it's going to be 72 euro starting from the beginning of the year. This is because of overhead that we have with heads, and also fact that we have to build robust validation mechanism. On the other side, we also believe that heads is quite complicated in terms of compiling and delivering yourself, and that's why we think this is worth the money. And still on our side is quite a lot of work to deliver that. So yeah, so that's the point. And of course, 15% of that going to Thierry, who also is a great maintainer of the project. And yeah, and we hope that this will also support his needs, and help him maintain the project for longer. Yeah, so all this project and more you can find on shop3mdev.com.